Back here for more XLB action as the Week 9 slate of games rolls right along here as we've got the Danville Dairy Daddies taking on the Buffalo Bad Boys. Both these teams in the East, Danville a record of 4-3, Buffalo a record of 3-4. So if Buffalo can get this win and tie them in records, that would give them the one-game advantage. Right now, Buffalo the 11 seed in the playoffs. Danville the 7 seed. If the playoffs were to start right now, it would be Danville taking on Boise and Buffalo taking on Las Vegas. That'd be a pretty good matchup right there. So definitely some playoff positioning and seeding going on here that could prove to be rather big going down the road. Let's take a look at the matchup stats as I tell you who the legends are for the Dairy Daddies. It's Larry Walker and Pedro Martinez. And for the Bad Boys, it is Kenny Lofton and George Brett. Starters today for the Dairy Daddies is Ryne Nelson from the Diamondbacks, a 2.8 pitcher, and Luis Castillo, a 2.7 pitcher on the bump for the Bad Boys. And here you can kind of see pretty relatively even except for the ERA. Danville has got better pitching so far throughout this season, but everything else relatively close. I think Buffalo's offense has been just a smidge better than Danville, but Danville has been able to put up runs in bunches at times. Danville, a team put together by our friend Jazz. I'll be making the decisions for them. Buffalo, a team controlled in the East by my brother Jason. He's here running the scoreboard, and he'll be making the decisions for Buffalo as we get set to get this one started. Anything else you want to add in before we get going here?
I'm not facing Pedro.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And Ryan Nelson took that personally. Luis Castillo out on the mound to take on Jose Altuve to kick this off here at Mike Lowery Memorial Field behind me here in Buffalo, New York, as you can see. And Altuve will strike out. One up, one down. It's Castillo, who struck out 13 in his last outing, gets the first one here. Larry Walker at the plate. He's batting .533 on the year. And Walker will slap a single into left.
Yep.
His 17th hit of the season. He'll take off for second. 34, he's in there. And that will be his 5th stolen base this season. So a runner on second now, with one down for Bryce Harper. And Harper has been the benefactor of all the stuff that Larry Walker has been able to do here early on. Harper batting .290 but has 10 RBIs on the season. And Castillo from the stretch to Harper. And he'll take that one high and deep. And Bryce Harper has driven in 2 more as Larry Walker will cross home plate. And that will be the 12th RBI this year for Bryce Harper and this Danville squad as they get on the board here in the first. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter Manny Machado, batting .200 on the year. And Machado will hit a double as well. So Danville, as we said, the utterly destroyed. That's actually pretty good. And Machado gets on with the double. Big Kid is his name. Are you coming up with these nicknames, Jason?
Yep.
You are? So Machado on second for the Dairy Daddies. We'll bring up Mookie Betts. Betts batting .310 on the year. And Betts will be out of there as he'll pop up to the shortstop. So now 2 down for Castillo with a man on second and Marcus Semien at the plate. And Semien will strike out. Second strikeout for Castillo. He gets out of the top of 1, but not before a 2-run homer from Harper. Makes it 2-0. Bottom of 1 we go, where Francisco Lindor will lead off against Ryne Nelson. Lindor batting .308 on the year. And Nelson will get Lindor to ground out to second. 1 up, 1 down. Pete Alonso at the plate. Nelson We'll give up a single into center to Alonso. Alonso batting 154 on the year, so that hit a welcome sight for him. And that'll bring up George Brett with 1 on, 1 down. And Nelson will get Brett to pop up to the shortstop. 2 down for Nick Kurtz. And Kurtz will hit a double into center. It's a T3 out there, but that's first to home. See, 11 to 52. No, he says. So bring up Kenny Lofton. 2 on, 2 down. Nelson. We'll get Lofton to ground to the catcher. And that'll do it for the bottom of 1. Would have been a bang-bang play at home.
Wow.
Top of 2. Julio Rodriguez set to lead off. And Castillo. We'll get Rodriguez to ground out to first. Air 10. We're not even going to hazard that. Only pitchers have that. That'll bring up Alejandro Kirk. And Castillo will get Kirk to pop up to the shortstop. 2 down for Elliot Ramos. And Castillo will give up a single into right to Ramos. 4th hit of the day for the Dairy Daddies through 2 innings. Now we're back to the top of the lineup where Jose Altuve comes up. And Altuve is out of there as he'll pop up to first. Bottom of 2. Nelson working against Will Smith. Nelson will get Smith to line out to the shortstop. 1 up, 1 down. Riley Green at the plate. Nelson will get Green to fly out to deep center, where Julio Rodriguez makes the saving catch out there at the warning track. Bring up Sal Frelick. And Nelson will strike out Frelick. No, not looking. He was swinging. First strikeout for Nelson. We're through 2. Top of 3 we go. Where Larry Walker will lead off against Luis Castillo. And Castillo will get Walker to pop up to second.
Ew.
1 up, 1 down. Bryce Harper at the plate. Castillo will strike out Harper. 3rd strikeout for Castillo brings up Manny Machado. And Castillo will strike him out as well. Back-to-back Ks for Castillo. Gives him 4 on the game. Lead stays at 2. Bottom of 3 we go. For the 9-hole hitter, Jackson Holiday against Ryne Nelson. And Nelson will get Holiday to fly out to right. 1 up, 1 down, Francisco Lindor. Nelson will get Lindor to fly out to left. Bring up Pete Alonso. And Alonso will strike out. 2nd strikeout for Nelson. No runs given up through 3. Top of 4 we go. Let's take a look at the XLB schedule this week. Terminators and Gladiators on bye this week, as I make the same mistake again of putting the logos above the schedule. 9 weeks in, eventually I'm going to learn. Some good games this week. I like that Phoenix-Louisville game. 2 teams that kind of going in different directions. And Louisville has a chance to kind of keep that 2nd place well protected down in Phoenix this week. But Phoenix, that's a game they need. So be one I'm keeping an eye on down in Phoenix.
Like that. St. Paul, Las Vegas. There are going to be some home runs in that game for sure.
Yeah, indeed. St. Paul leading the league in home runs, and of course Barry Bonds in that game. Top of 4, Mookie Betts leads off against Luis Castillo. And Castillo will get Betts to ground out to short. 1 up, 1 down for Marcus Semien. And Castillo will get Semien to ground out to short. 2 down for Julio Rodriguez. And Castillo will get Rodriguez to fly out to deep left, where that is saved by Riley Green out there. So a couple, now each team has robbed the other of a home run. So bottom of 4 we go. Heart of the lineup for the bad boys. George Brett leads off against Ryne Nelson. And Nelson will get Brett to ground out to short. 1 up, 1 down for Big Amish. PBZ, 37. Catcher drops third strike. Batter safe at first on air. Pitcher gets credit for a strikeout. So Kurt strikes out, but he's on first.
Right.
So they'll bring up
Thank
Kenny
you,
Lofton.
Alejandro Kirk.
1 on, 1 down, even though there's been 2 outs.
Oh.
And Nelson will give up a single into center to Lofton.
He rattled. He rattled.
In his head, second hit of the day for the bad. Actually, that's the third hit of the day for the bad boys.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. Bring up Will Smith, 2 on, 1 down. And Nelson will get Smith to ground out to third. Double play. Not even going to check speeds. They say you're out. Top of 5. Danville up by 2. Alejandro Kirk at the plate against Luis Castillo. And Kirk is out of there as he'll pop up to second. 1 up, 1 down for Elliot Ramos. And Ramos will strike out. 5th strikeout for Castillo brings up Jose Altuve. Altuve came into today batting 200. Castillo will get Altuve to fly out the left. 3 up, 3 down for the Dairy Daddies. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, will be the bottom of the lineup for Buffalo against Ryne Nelson. And Green is going to take a walk.
What we do.
The old 71 walk. Buffalo came into this week next to last in the league in walks taken. Take one right there, though.
Never mind.
Sal Frelick at the plate. 1 on, nobody down. And Frelick is out of there as he is going to ground out to first. Air 4 to 10. Whoops.
Right.
Yeah, Bryce is an air 1. And I believe from what we've seen, A or B safe at first. Okay. So 1 down for Jackson Holiday. PPBD for Holiday, and he'll strike out. 4th strikeout for Nelson brings up Lindor. And Lindor, he'll take that one high and deep and tie this one up.
Boys, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
His 4th home run of the season. And he leads this Buffalo squad in home runs. And Nelson had been good up until this inning. Letting that one slip. Actually, he's tied for the lead now with Nick Kurtz. I see Kurtz also has 4. But a big shot there from Lindor to tie this one up in the 5th. A high-speed goner from Mr. Smile. I always forget that he's Mr. Smile. Goner. That'll bring up Pete Alonso. And Alonso is out of there. So he'll fly out to center, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 5th. But we are tied up at 5 now, going to the top of the 6th. Where it'll be Larry Walker leading off against Castillo. And Castillo will get Walker to line out to third. Going the other way with it. Brings up Bryce Harper. Castillo We'll get Harper to ground back to the pitcher. 2 down for Manny Machado. And Machado will strike out. Had a good look at it. 6 strikeout for Castillo through 6. Bottom of 6 we go. As George Brett will lead off against Ryne Nelson. And Nelson will get Brett to ground out to short. 1 down for Nick Kurtz. And Kurtz will break the tie with a home run, and now he has taken the home run lead on the Bad Boys back with one of his own. The solo shot puts Buffalo in front. 5 home runs for Kurtz. I believe that ties him for the XLB lead alongside Barry Bonds. And it does. Both he and Bonds have 5. Woosa by Nick Nukes puts Buffalo in front and Kenny Lofton at the plate. And Nelson will get Lofton to fly out to right. 2 down for Will Smith. And Will is out of there as he'll ground out to short. So the solo shot, though, from Kurtz puts Buffalo in front 3-2 as we head to the top of the 7th, where Mookie Betts will lead off for the Dairy Daddies against Luis Castillo. And Castillo will strike out Betts. 7th strikeout for Castillo. Gives him 20 on the season. Brings up Marcus Semien. And Semien, he will hit a double off the fat pitch there from Castillo. 5th hit of the day for the Dairy Daddies puts the tying run in scoring position, and Julio Rodriguez at the plate.
In the bullpen.
That is Semien's 2nd double of the season, as Rodriguez is up now. And Castillo will walk Rodriguez.
Time. Brian King.
Brian King will check in from the Houston Astros with 2 on that are owned by Luis Castillo. Castillo goes 6 1/3, gives up 2 runs on 5 hits, gave up a homer, struck out 7, and just walked his most recent batter to bring up Alejandro Kirk. Now King from the stretch will give up a single into center to Kirk. So now the base is loaded for Elliot Ramos. And King will give up a single into center. That'll score Semien. And that run will go against Castillo. Rodriguez, OBRA. The ball went into center. T5. No, not worth. They'll bring up Altuve. 1 down, bases still loaded as King tries to get out of this jam. And Altuve will strike out.
Ooh.
2 down, Larry Walker up with the bases loaded.
No.
And Walker
Oh, no.
will get a single into center. That will score Rodriguez. Kirk, OBRC. 11-56. He'll stay. And Harper will be up now. 4-3, Danville back in front. Bryce Harper looking to bust this one open. And Harper will do just that. A grand slam home run for Bryce Harper. His 2nd home run of the game. And that will score Kirk, Ramos, Walker. And that'll be 4 more RBIs for Bryce Harper, and that will give him 18 on the season, easily putting him in first place in RBIs now, as this Danville team gets the full gallon there. Second home run by Big Kid Harper, and it is 8-3 now in the top of the 7th, as Brian King has come in and got lit up here. That'll bring up Machado with 2 down and nobody on.
Over.
It's an infield single for Machado.
Jesus.
That'll bring up Mookie Betts, who started the inning with a strikeout. And King will strike out Betts again. Betts will get to strike out twice in 1 inning. But the damage is absolutely done, as 6 runs in the top of the 7th. Bust this one open now. And the Dairy Daddies will bring in Matt Svanson to take over in the bottom of the 7th against Riley Green. And Svanson will give up the infield single to Green. They'll bring up Frelick now. 1 on, 1 down. Or nobody down. Frelick will hit a double off the PVCD. So now runners on 2nd and 3rd. 7th hit for the Bad Boys, and Holiday up with 2 runners in scoring position and nobody down. Svanson will strike out Holiday. That'll bring up Lindor. And Svanson will strike out Lindor looking. 2 strikeouts for Svanson brings up Pete Alonso. And Svanson will get Alonso to ground out to 3rd. And got in the jam and got himself out of it. Svanson gets out of the 7th. Score stays 8-3. Heading to the top of the 8th, where Marcus Semien will lead off. And King will come back out. King will give up a single into right to Semien.
Out.
King just does not have it tonight.
Jeff Hoffman.
Jeff Hoffman from the Blue Jays will check in.
That's right, Gus.
And Julio Rodriguez at the plate. And Hoffman will get Rodriguez to line out to short. First out of the 8th. It'll bring up Alejandro Kirk. And Kirk is out of there, as he'll pop up to the catcher.
Mainly got a catcher.
It'll bring up Ramos. And Ramos will hit a double. That'll score the run, as Semien will score on the double. And Ramos is 3 for 4. And Hoffman scores King's run. Brings up Altuve, 1 on, 2 down. And Altuve is out of there, as he'll pop up to the catcher. Another run tacked on. Hoffman gets out of the inning. And the Dairy Daddies will bring in a Jose Ferrer for the 8th.
Feeling good, are they?
We'll bring up George Brett down by 6. And Ferrer will give up a single into left to Brett.
It's not fair.
They'll bring up Big Amish. And Kurtz will strike out. 1 down for Kenny Lofton. And Lofton will strike out. That one sucks. They'll bring up Will Smith, 1 on, 2 down. And Ferrer will give up a single into right.
Let's get on his card.
So 2 on, 2 down for Riley Green. And Ferrer will get Green to ground out to third, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 8th. Top of 9, Hoffman back out to take on Larry Walker. And Walker will take a walk. This guy's an impossible out. Takes off for second.
Really, Larry?
Stealing bases in a 6-run game.
Oh,
That'll bring up Bryce Harper. And Harper will get the infield single. I don't know if you want to advance the runner on that or not.
yeah.
I'll put Walker on third. And Harper 3 for 5 on the day. Machado at the plate. And Hoffman will strike out Machado. First strikeout for Hoffman. 1 down for Mookie Betts. And Betts will strike out. Now 2 down here in the 9th, Simeon. And Simeon will strike out. So 3 straight strikeouts from Hoffman. Get him through the 9th. Bottom of 9 we go, where Sal Frelick will lead off against Ferrer. And Ferrer will strike him out. Bring up Jackson Holiday. And Ferrer will strike out Holiday. 2 down for Lindor. And Ferrer will strike out Lindor. Bam, bam, bam. 5 strikeouts for Ferrer through 2 innings. That'll do it for this one. As the win is going to go to Ryne Nelson, who just made it to the 7th. Bryce Harper going to be your MVP. And it looks like, I guess, Luis Castillo going to hang that loss. As that's a tough loss there for the Bad Boys. That moves the Dairy Daddies to a record of 5-3. Buffalo now 3-5, tied with New Orleans. And that could have some major implications as far as relegation and the postseason goes for Buffalo. But a good win for Danville as they try and keep pace in the East. Week 9 rolls right along. Thanks for watching. Check out more Week 9 action tomorrow and the day after as we keep it going here. Thanks for watching.